Hi everybody. So I just tried to go live on my personal page too at the same time, and as usual, technology. So I had something that I can't get off my mind that I didn't want to wait till Thursday for Therapy Thursday. Plus, there's another theme for Therapy Thursday. It's going to be boundaries, because there are so many people in my life struggling with boundaries this week, it seems like. So whenever there's a theme in the week, I like to talk about that on Therapy Thursday. So judgment, right? So this is a hard concept. So like a month ago, I listened to this training on the Mind Valley app, Vishen Lakhiani's app, which I love. And it was a class by Christy Marie Sheldon, I believe. And she talked about how like the whole like vortex of emotions, and how like certain emotions are really low energy, like shame is like the bottom, obviously, and then that like joy is the top, like the highest vibe or whatever. So I've been doing a lot of work on staying high vibe and more than positive, but really like choosing to do this work. And so in this video, she talked about how she encouraged you to get out an index card, and that every time you found yourself judging, you were to put a tally mark down. And as soon as she said that, I was like, don't even need a freaking index card. I am super judgy. I totally know that, even though I'm not judgy. I am judgy, totally. Especially as a therapist, I feel like. So I've had that in the back of my head. So I've been really keeping tabs on my judgment. So yesterday, as God would have that I needed to have a lesson, I guess, I was running into Trader Joe's quickly because I had no food at the house, and I was in a hurry, as I usually am. And there's only a few spaces in the front of the store, and a minivan had parked like super diagonally in straight parking and was taking up 2 entire spaces. And so immediate thought, like, what the heck? That's not cool. Like, you totally judge, right? And then because I'm trying to keep track of my judgments, I was like, oh, I love that person. They must have been in a big hurry. And then I kind of laughed and made a joke of it. Like, they had a Trader Joe's emergency. I wonder what was their Trader Joe's emergency that they had to park their van like that. Seriously. Okay. So I like worked my way through this judgment. So then I'm in the store, and I, see this girl, and she's in a wheelchair, and she's a beautiful girl, and I offered to help her get stuff out of those freezers because they're so deep. And it didn't even like cross my mind. Nothing crossed my mind. I'm checking out. I'm like in my own world, whatever. So then I'm walking out to my car, and I'm like, I wonder if that's her van. It doesn't have a handicap sticker on, but I wonder if that's her van. That would be it. Like, you totally judged. Didn't know the whole story, because we never know anyone's full story, right? And I'm working on that judgment because I don't want to stay in that scarcity and comparison and the shame place, because that's low energy and it doesn't help my happiness and it doesn't serve the world at all. And of course, it was her van. And I haven't been able to shake it. Like, I haven't been able to shake that, damn it, Justine, like, see, that's why you got to work on your judgment. And I feel like I do a pretty good job of it. Like, especially driving in St. Louis is not awesome. Sometimes we have to be very aggressive drivers here. And so I will say like, oh, they're in a hurry. Like, and I'll say like, Jesus loves you and I love you too. Because also remember, there's this whole concept. Hi, Nani. Hi. There's this whole concept in Brene's work in the workshops and intensives that I do, that people are doing their best. So on top of that, like, oh, look at you and your Trader Joe's emergency that you had to take up 2 parking spots, and that's your best, because I'm going to choose to believe that that's your best, because my life is better when I believe that people are doing their best, because like, you had a Trader Joe's emergency, and then totally like shoved it right back in my face, like, nope. Maybe there wasn't a handicap spot open for her and she needed that to get out of her car. And you don't know what people are struggling with, right? And so, but I think it's so normal. Like, the world that we live in, we are socialized to judge. Like, we are. And our brains are pretty wired for simple, like black, white, happy or sad. TED Talk coming soon on that, like literally coming soon on that, October 13th. But like, that's where our judgments come from. And what I know is that had I attached to that judgment and gotten all pissy because someone took up 2 parking spots, I mean, give me a break. Are you really going to let that ruin your day? That's my choice though, right? Because that's where this work comes in. I must, as I've talked about before in Therapy Thursdays, I must feel my emotion and choose my response. So I did that. Like I totally judged taking up 2 spots, and then I was able to like, must have been a Trader Joe's emergency, and then literally God was like, nope, you need a little bit more of a lesson on this one. You need a little bit more. She's in a wheelchair. And I could have then felt super guilty, right? But that's also not serving to the world. It's just literally that lesson. I must do this work to stay open to receive the message. The message being that I am not judge or jury. And when I try to be, the only life affected in a negative way, well, the life affected the most in a negative way is mine. And then that sends ripples out into the world. And I'm done living in that place. I don't want to be living in scarcity and shame and judgment anymore. I'm done. I'm out. But I also need to be realistic that that will be where my head goes pretty automatically, right? Like that's where we live. And so I have to do this work. I'm going to choose to believe that people are doing their best. Therapy Thursday will be about boundaries because those are really important when you believe that people are doing their best. And yeah, so that's my story. So I'm going to continue to do this exercise that Christy Sheldon did. Like, I don't need a freaking index card in my purse to put a slash down every time I judge something or someone. I know when I'm doing it. But what I am finding is now that I have that awareness, I get to choose what I do with that judgment. And I am going to choose to love people because that makes my day better. I would love to hear what you think or how many times a day you judge. I'm sure people are way better than I am. We're all a work in progress, right? So, all right, thank you. I'll see you Thursday for Therapy Thursday. Make it a great night. Bye.